Welcome to Math with GCSE Mathematics Zone. In this video, we are going to look at 2018 Mathematics Paper 1 GCSE ECZ. So the first question says simplify. So whenever you're given a question to say simplify, it means that expression is looking complicated and so you need to make it look simple. Okay, so when you look at this expression, it has brackets. So the first step is to remove the brackets by multiplying the outside terms by every term that is in the bracket. So what we are saying is you multiply this by that and then this by that. Here you have an invisible one here. Okay, you have an invisible one. So again, you are multiplying by that, also by that, for you to open the brackets. Okay? So 4 times, so you need to be careful with the signs. So we are saying positive 4 times x is positive 4x. Then positive 4 times positive 2y is positive 8y. Then we're done with that. Then here you need to be careful with this sign. This is negative 1 times 3x, which will be negative 3x. Then negative 1 times negative 8y is positive 8y. Okay? At this stage, you now collect like terms. So this term has x, and then this term has an x also. So take note, whenever you are collecting like terms, you need to collect them together with a sign. You can see that I've underlined together with a negative sign. Okay? So what we are having now is 4x minus 3x, which gives x. Okay, let me just... So 4x minus 3x is x, okay? Then another like term here. Then you also look for other like terms. So this is 8y. This term also has a y, so this is also a like term to this. So you are going to say 8y plus 8y is 16y. So the answer, the final answer is x plus 16y. Okay, so you can see that this big expression has just reduced to, has just been simplified to x plus 16y. Okay? So the next question says evaluate. Whenever you have a question that tells you to evaluate, it means they are telling you to work out and find the actual value. Okay? So when you look at this, this is a good example of the application of the laws of indices. So for example, if you have a number a that has been raised to the power b over c, okay, then this number a is called the base. Then the denominator of the power is indicating the root. Okay, so if you have a 2 where there is c here, it means you are being asked to find the square root. The square root of the base a. If you have a 3, it means you are being asked to find the cube root of the base a. Then if you have a 4, it means you're being asked to find the fourth root of the base A, and so on. Then the numerator of the power indicates the index or the power or the exponent. Okay? Now, this whole thing with this explanation, with this understanding, this now can be written as the base here, A, then here we are going to put C. C will come here. Okay? So if you have a 2 here, if you have a 3 here, it means you are being asked to find the cube root. If you have a 4, and so on. Okay? And everything, this is being raised to the power B. Okay? So this and this are just the same. Now we can go ahead and evaluate this. So we have the base 27 and 2/3. Okay, we write this in this form. So we are going to have this. Then the base is 27. C, our C here is 3. So we have 3. So meaning we're finding the cube root of 27. Then everything is being raised to the power 2. Okay. So what do they mean when they ask you to find the cube root? A cube root of a number is a factor of that number such that if that number multiplies itself 3 times, you get back the number that is here, the 27. So the cube root of 27 is 3. And everything is being raised to the power 2. Okay? Then 3 squared, or 3 to the power 2, is same as 3 times 3. And this gives 9 as the final answer. So 9 is the final answer. Number 3, a straight line passing through point A and B with these coordinates and with this gradient. Find the value of y. Okay, so whenever you are given the gradient and the points, and then you are asked to find the missing coordinate, it means you are supposed to use the formula for finding the gradient in order for you to find the missing coordinate. So gradient is given by the letter M. So the gradient is given by the letter M. Now the formula for finding the gradient is M is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. In other words, it's just the change in y, in the y coordinate, divided by the change in the x coordinate. Now, when you look at the points that you've been given, you don't have the y1 and the y2, you don't have the x1 and x2. So what you do here, you just let this be 0.1. Okay? So if this is 0.1, it means here you're going to have x1, and this is now going to be y1. This will automatically become x2, then this is y2. Or you can choose to put 0.1 as this, meaning the x1 and y1 will be this, and this will be 0.2, and then you still find the same answer. Okay. Now, the gradient M, we have been given this one here, so we're going to replace -2 where there's M, so we have -2 is equal to y2. Y2 is y, the one that we are looking for, so we have y minus y1. Y1 is 2, so 2 here, divided by x2 is 5, so we have 5 minus x1 is 3. Okay, so we have negative 2 is equal to y minus 2 over 5 minus 3 is 2. Okay, so when you look at the right hand side of this equation, it's a fraction, so even this we can make it as a fraction by saying over 1. Now after that you can cross multiply. Okay, you can cross multiply, and then we say 1 times y minus 2, we have y minus 2 is equal to 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Okay, so your aim is to remain with y. You are looking for y. Okay, meaning we don't need this term here, the negative 2. So we need to remove this negative 2 by taking it the other side. So we'll do that by additive inverse. This is negative 2. For us to remove it, we're going to do the opposite of negative 2, which is positive 2. So we have added a 2 here so that when we say negative 2 plus 2, you have a 0. What will remain is just a y. So what we've done on the left hand side, we also do it on the right hand side so that the equation remains balanced. Okay, so what will remain is y is equal to, this becomes a 0, then negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. So meaning y is equal to negative 2. Okay, number 4. They are saying factorize completely. Okay, factorize completely. So the expression that we are required to factorize is 5x squared minus 5. So first of all, you need to look for what is common in both terms. So we have two terms. The first term is this one and the second term is this one. So what is common in both terms is a 5. Okay, so 5x squared divided by 5, what will remain in the brackets is just the x squared minus 5 divided by 5 is a 1. Okay, now when you look at what is in the brackets, because they are telling us, they have told us to factorize completely. We've only factorized, now we need to complete it. Okay, so when you look at what is in the brackets here, x squared minus 1, x squared is a square number and 1 is a square number, and there's a minus sign here. So because of these conditions, it means that the terms that are inside the brackets are in the form of dots. Difference of two squares. And difference of two squares states that if you have a square number a, which is subtracting another square number b, then you can factorize this like this. So you put a plus here and a minus there. The square root of a squared is a. You also put it here. The square root of b is b. You also put it here. So this is what the difference of two squares states. So meaning, because we have this condition here, so meaning we are going to have 5. Let's write this in this form. So we have x squared minus 1. So we have not changed anything because 1 squared is still 1, so it's still 1 there. So now in the brackets we have this condition. So we're going to have 5 then plus minus. Square root of x squared is x. You also write it here. The square root of 1 is 1. You also, sorry, here is supposed to be So now we are going to have 5 plus, then minus. So the square root of x squared is x. You also write it here. The square root of 1 is 1. You also write it here. So now we have factorized this expression completely. So you can just write your answer here, 5x plus 1, x minus 1. Okay? Now they are saying, question 5 is saying, use set notation to describe the shaded region in the Venn diagram below. Okay? The shaded region, when you look at A and B, A and B has been completely shaded, but C has never been shaded. So meaning, because A and B have been shaded, you are going to have A union B. Okay? And because here because C has not been shaded at all, it means you are having intersect C complement. So A union B, because A and B have been completely shaded, and then C is not part of the shaded. Okay, so yeah, so the answer is A union B intersect C complement. Okay, number 6, given that C is this matrix and D is this matrix, express CD as a single matrix. So whenever you have a matrix being expressed like this, it means they want you to multiply the matrices. Okay, they want you to multiply those two matrices. Now, sometimes an examiner may be testing you to see if you know how to multiply matrices. Okay, may want to know if you know the conditions that allow you to multiply matrices. Sometimes matrices may not be, you cannot multiply them. So how do you determine if matrices, two or more matrices, are multiplied, can be multiplied together? The first thing, you need to check the order. So the order, we have 1, 2. We have 2 rows. Okay, how many columns? 1, 2. So this is a 2 by 2 matrix. What about this one? How many rows? We have 1, 2. So we have 2 rows. Then how many columns? 1. We only have 1 column. Okay. Now, when you have these inside numbers, if they are the same, these inside numbers, then it shows that multiplication between those two matrices exist. Okay? When you have the number of columns of the first matrix being equal to the number of rows of the second matrix, it means that multiplication exists. Okay? So multiplication exists. What about these outside numbers? What do they tell you? The outside numbers will tell you the order of the matrix that you are going to find after multiplying these two matrices. So the order will be a 2 by 1 matrix. the answer that we are going to find, it will be a 2 by 1 matrix. Okay, let's just clean up here and go ahead into answering. Okay, so CD is equal to, the matrix C is this, so we have 5, -1, 2, 1, being multiplied by this matrix here, 1, -2. Okay, so when multiplying matrices, we multiply row. Okay, the horizontal movement is the row, then the vertical movement is the column. So we multiply row by column, the rows of the first matrix by the columns of the second matrix. Okay, so this is what we are saying. So we have 5 times 1, so 5 times 1 plus, so this is 5 times 1 plus -1 times -2. Okay, -1 times -2, -1 times -2. So we are done with the first row by column. Then we come to this 2 times 1, so 2 times 1 plus 1 times -1, 1 times -1. And because these are matrices, everything should be in brackets like this. Then we just have to simplify this. 5 times 1 is 5, plus -1 times -2 is +2. Then 2 times 1 is 2. Or actually, this is 1 times -2. This is -2, guys. Sorry. So this is -2. Okay. 5 plus 2 is 7. 2 minus 2 is 0. So, as I said earlier, this is a 1, 2. This is a 2 by 1 matrix. Okay, so CD is equal to 7 and 0, like this. Okay, let's look at number 7. Number 7 says the first 3 terms in arithmetic progression are 5, 7, and 9. So these are the terms 5, 7, and 9 of this arithmetic progression. At A, they want you to find the common difference. Is usually given by D. Okay, so now before we find the common difference, the arithmetic progression, the other name for arithmetic progression is actually a linear sequence. A linear sequence or an arithmetic progression is a sequence in which each terms increase or decrease by the same amount each time. So that same amount is the one that we're calling the common difference. So in this case, if you say 7 minus 5, it should also be equal to when you say, it should also be equal when you say 9 minus 7. Okay? So D should be equal to 9 minus 7 should be equal to when you say 7 minus 5, and this gives a 2. So the common difference is a 2. This is a common difference. Okay? Then B, they want you to find the sum of the first 12 terms. Okay? The sum of the first 12 terms. First of all, the formula for finding the sum of an arithmetic progression is Sn is equal to n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1 times the common difference. So in this case, a is equal to the first term, and the first term in this sequence is 5. So 5, a is 5. Then what else? What other variable do we have here? N. N is actually the number of terms. So n is 12. Then d, we found that d, the common difference, is 2. Okay, so we just substitute and find the answer. Okay, we just substitute and find the answer. N is 12, so we have 12 over 2. Then 2 times a is 5, the first term is 5, plus n is 12, so 12 minus 1. The common difference is 2, so we're multiplying by 2. Like that. Then we simplify. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Then 2 times 5 is 10, plus 12 minus 1 is 11 times 2. Okay? So we have 6, 10 plus 2 times 11 is 22. Okay, then you have 6. 10 plus 22 is 32. Because this is paper 1, you are not allowed to use a calculator. We'll just say 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 plus 1 is 19. So this is the answer. So common difference D, we found that is 2. Then the sum of 12 terms, we found that is 192. Okay, so we will solve up to question 8. This is the last question for today. So look, you should look out for the rest of the question in the next video. So question 8a says, in a game, the probability of a player losing is 0.3. What is the probability of a player winning the game? So what you have to know is that the probability of something to occur plus the probability of something not to occur is equal to 1. So in other words, the probability of success plus the probability of failure, you should get 1. So in this case, the question is saying we've been given the probability of a player losing, so plus the probability of a player winning. We should get a 1. Okay, we've been given the probability of losing, which is 0.3. So here we're going to put 0.3 plus probability of winning, which is the probability that we are looking for, is equal to 1. So this is like an equation. So we are looking for the probability of winning. So it's like you have 0.3 plus x is equal to 1. So this is like x. So what are you going to do in order for you to find this? You take this to the other side In other words, you are using additive inverse. So this is 0.3 positive. You subtract 0.3 both sides of this equation. Okay, so you have okay, you now have probability of winning, which is equal to 1 minus 0.3, which is equal to 0.7. So this is the probability of winning. Okay, so we found part A. Okay, so this is So this is 0.3, So this is 0.7. Okay, so we can now clean up so that we do part B. So here 0.7. Part B says the coordinates of B and C are this, respectively. If M is the midpoint of BC, what is the position vector of M? If you have B here and C here, so the coordinates of B we've been given, this is a line actually. The coordinates of B we've been given, because they are saying respectively, it means that this B, the coordinates are this, C is that. So the coordinates of B we've been given 2, 5. Then the coordinates of C is 4, -3. So they want you to find M. They're saying M is the midpoint. Okay? M is the midpoint. So how do you find the midpoint of a line given the coordinates? So midpoint because the line is BC, I'm going to say BC is given by the formula x in B plus x in C divided by 2, y in B plus y in C divided by 2. And because these are coordinates, you put them in brackets. Many students, they usually forget to put this in brackets. If you write coordinates without brackets, it means your answer is wrong. Okay? Now, what is the x coordinate in B? The x coordinate in B is 2, then plus. What is the x coordinate in C is 4, then everything divided by 2, the y coordinate in B is 5, so we have 5 plus the y coordinate in C is -3, so -3 over 2. Everything in brackets like this because these are coordinates. So 2 plus 4 is 6, so we have 6 over 2, 5 plus -3 is same as 5 minus 3, which is 2 over 2, and everything in brackets. 6 divided by 2 is 3, then 2 divided by 2 is 1. So the midpoint M is 3,1. So 3,1 is a midpoint. Okay? Thank you very much for watching. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, and comment and share. We'll end at question 8, so look out for the rest of the questions from question 9 up to the last question. See you in the next video. Goodbye.